Welcome back. Moving forward, in this lesson, I'm going to talk about core concept and the differences between business and corporate credit. First, just what business credit is, and then I'm going to talk about corporate credit. The business credit, think of this as separate from your personal credit report or personal credit. So it's not tied to your personal credit. In other words, if you are running a business or if you have a company and that company obtains a credit card or other loans, for instance, that would be considered as a business credit. The soft inquiry on personal credit is conducted when someone wants to check your credit score. So even if you have, let's say, some type of business credit, they may, or the financial institution, for example, may wish to actually take a look at your personal credit just to make sure that your credit score is adequate. The business credit, like I mentioned earlier, comes in form of business credit cards and fairly straightforward and pretty common. And this can be used for anything, right? So you're not limited to using your business credit cards to something buying personal, for instance, right? You could buy anything that you wish to buy from your business credit cards. So as mentioned earlier, you can use your business credit anywhere you like. And the good part is that it does not affect your personal credit rating, right? So there's no reporting to personal credit since it's not tied to your personal credit. It's a separate entity, so to speak. You can also increase limits every 3 to 6 months. So as you progress with your business credit lines, for example, or your business credit card, the limits can be increased. So initially it could be $1,000, for instance. As you progress forward in the next 3 months, it could increase to $5,000, to $10,000, and so on. And it is important to note that new businesses can qualify for up to $250,000. And the reason why is because new businesses are considered 0 to 3 years old. In other words, they have yet to establish their credit history. So you can get business credit for newly established companies, for instance. If your company is older than 3 years, then the company can qualify for up to $500,000 in business credit, right? So if your company is old enough and you don't have any delinquent payments or bounced checks, for instance, in other words, you have adequate good credit, right? You can go up to almost $500,000. So this is really what business credit is all about. Next, let's take a look at corporate credit. The corporate credit is available, of course, through credit cards, lines of credit, bank loans, or trade credits. So this is sort of like an extension of business credit, right? It gives you more power. Credit cards, lines of credit, and bank loans are available through various banks and financial institutions like in your local area or anywhere else. Trade credit is a little different and unique, is when established or incorporated, businesses create lines of credit for other established businesses. So think of this as, let's say you have a company and you wish to obtain a trade credit, in other words, money for your business. So the bank or the financial institution would extend you lines of credit. What that means is they would say, for instance, we give you $10,000 worth of line of credit that you can actually use for any of your other businesses. So that essentially is corporate credit. So the basic difference, right, and that's important to understand and know the core difference between business credit and corporate credit. So just to recap, the core difference between business and corporate credit is that business credit is backed up by your own personal credit profile or the client's personal credit profile, and that can take up to 2 to 4 weeks to establish, as we talked about. Whereas corporate credit, on the other hand, is not backed up by your personal credit. Rather, it's backed up by the company's credit profile, which can take months or years to establish. As we talked about, it could take about between 0 and 3 years to establish or longer. So just wanted to recap the core differences between business and corporate credit. So hope this helps. Let's move to the next lesson.